ago. I started a podcast, I don't know, 6, 7 months ago or something. It was an idea that came as inspiration through my wife as a result of getting through my daughter's cancer, which she's okay with. I'm always so hesitant to share that because it's such a heavy thing to drop on people. And it's not like I want to make it dramatic. First of all, she's fine. She's good now. I mean, she's had a couple surgeries, so her arm's a little bit limited mobility, but from a cancer standpoint and scans and clearing and genetics and all that, she's good. So let's start there. But it's really a weird topic to try to bring up because you don't know if someone's ready to hear it. And a lot of times they aren't. It just, you can see it take the wind out of people. And for us, it's something we conquered. It's something we've been through, we lived through, and we don't identify as a cancer surviving family or anything like that. We don't even talk about it, but unfortunately it's the norm for us. And so I think I forget that when I drop it. Anyways, the desire to help people came from that experience on a large scale, as many as we can, through the forms of getting their stories out. We wanted to create a platform that allows people to come on and tell essentially their origin stories. What are their biggest challenges in life? What adversity have they overcome? What is their life story, their origin story, basically. And when I started it, that first 10, 15, I mean, it was really hard to keep the books full. And that's a weird concept. There's all kinds of topic shows. There's all kinds of, philosophical, political, business shows. I don't know any personal story shows other than Soft White Underbelly, which I don't like how that feels after watching it. And I wanted to do, I'm not knocking it. That's a wildly successful podcast. But if you watch a couple of those, you're going to feel icky. You're going to feel like, ugh, it just doesn't feel good. And so I wanted to create a podcast that makes people feel better after they watch it than they were before they watch it. And even if it's just a temporary relief, we wanted to create something that relieves people's suffering. And so I felt this was a divine calling, and I still do. I knew it was going to be a lot of work. I had no idea how much work launching and maintaining a podcast is. It's insane. First of all, you got to get the guests, you got to schedule the guests, you got to bring them over, you got to shoot it, you got to handle the footage, you got to get it edited, and then you need to polish it up. And then you've got to get it posted places, and as many places as you can, Rumble, YouTube, Anchor, all the podcast locations, and you've got to package it. And so anyways, it's a lot of work, and there weren't a lot of people willing to come on and tell their life story on camera forever. And I just kept at it and kept keeping the books full, and somehow since I started with no backups. Don't do that. Film like 10 of these things first, and then start releasing them once a week, and you won't be in the same scramble I was. But after, I don't know, 10 to 20 episodes, somewhere in there, there was a little bit of a shift, and people started getting what I'm trying to do. They started understanding, oh, this is a platform where I can come and help people. And it turns out a lot of people want to tell their story. Like, what is the story of you? And then the guests started getting bigger, and it became clear, like, one thing that was really hard is like, dude, one of these episodes that's like 20 to 40 minutes, that's like 20 to 25 hours of work, 15 to 25, somewhere in there, and you put it up and it gets like 30 views. It takes a strong stomach to do that, to create a piece of art that you put your heart and soul to and put it out there, and then it just flops week after week, month after month. But I believe in what I'm doing, and I remind myself constantly, this is not about performance. This is about helping one person. If this, like, not just, oh, it helps someone feel better. If this podcast legitimately helps one person, and I know it has already, the whole thing is worth it. And it's not cheap. It's not easy. It's not quick, but dude, it's unbelievable how podcasting has transformed my life. I've met incredible people. I've expanded my knowledge spiritually, physically, mentally, gotten incredible life advice. And yeah, so I'm 7 months in, and I don't really know how to gauge the success, but I do know that it's changed momentum. And one thing that's really clear, if you want your podcast to grow to the next level, and I don't know what the next level is. I don't think I'm there yet. I don't really care. I'm the people that are supposed to come on are showing up, but you got to get bigger names. You really do. And that's something that nobody really tells you. It's the podcast market is so saturated. Like it's so saturated that standing out without big names is just not going to happen. So if you want to do a podcast as a hobby, that's awesome. But if you're trying to like monetize it and this is what you want to do for a living, whole different game. It can be done, but the first thing you know is it's got to be on video. Otherwise, you're not going to grow a podcast audio only. You're just not. I mean, maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago. And then second, if you want big guests, it needs to be quality. That's a very important thing. You need to have a very clearly defined theme. You need to know exactly what you want from guests so that you can prep them. And then, yeah, it has to be a quality studio, quality video, because otherwise, big guests have a reputation to uphold. They're not going to just come on. And if you can do all that, you'll get someone who's kind of a notable figure, and then you can immediately use that and start reaching out to other people of that status and say, hey, this person came on, and then it gets a little bit bigger, and it kind of ping pongs and snowballs. And as the guests get bigger, the podcasts get easier because bigger guests know how to talk. Like they know how to be on camera. They know, and that was one thing I didn't consider is that I wanted to just have a platform for everybody. Like whoever hits me up can come on, but you kind of can't do that because people kind of wig out on camera. And I've had some that I just couldn't post, and it's hard to explain why. But anyways, to grow a podcast, you've got to grow in guest size. And to do that, you got to have quality. You have to have skills to talk to these guests. There's a lot of nerves. The first time I had a large guest on, I've done corporate sales my whole life, but this was different. Like here's a celebrity in my house and it's on me to come up with a piece of content that made it worth their time. And you get used to it. But anyways, man, I go back and forth from like discouragement to like, gosh, where is this going? Like I'm just, am I doing the right thing? Am I crazy? To I don't give a shit where this is going because I know for sure, based on the messages I've gotten, that this podcast is helping people, and that is what I set out to do. But my ego comes in and creates a little fear, like, hey, it needs to be here by this point. And then you start comparing yourself to others and you lose the idea of what success is. This was not about views. This was not about, and it still isn't. It really isn't. This is about helping people, hosting stories, providing relief to listeners, helping them grow, helping them see that we're all the same, notable people, celebrities, that sort of thing. They're just like us too. And let's talk about how they climbed to where they are. It didn't just happen for them. Let's talk about their adversities, just like ours. And so by that measure, it is a success. And I'm gonna keep going. Like, I don't know where this goes or what it means or if it monetizes. If it doesn't, I have no income from it and I don't care. Don't take that as some subconscious like, woe is me or give me money. I don't care. I'm not doing this for money. I don't need money from it. And I don't know how to describe it. And I feel like it sounds egotistical or maybe even a little narcissistic, but I know I'm supposed to be doing this. Deep in my core, I know I'm supposed to be doing this. I don't really know why, and I don't know where it goes, but I've never felt like this in my life. And I just feel really proud that I get to do this, and I feel really grateful. And I just can't believe that I'm doing this. I just can't believe it. So to anyone who's watched it, thanks for the support, and I hope you got something from it. And like, dude, I have a call to action. If you guys are watching the pod, or if anybody's watching this, I don't know. This is a different form of therapy, just like getting my stuff on camera here. But like, leave a comment on these episodes and tell the guests your favorite part, because every guest is walking out of there saying, I feel incredible. That was therapeutic. I feel great. These are not prepped. These are personal stories, and imagine how good it would feel for these people to get a supportive comment. I relate to that part. I learned from this part. I appreciate that part. Like, literally, they check the comments, you know what I mean? And so, like, say something nice. Lift them up. I think it'd be really cool. That's what they're trying to do when they come on and get personal on the show. They're trying to lift people up. So let's do it back by giving them a little comment. Other than that, dude, amazing day. That's it. All right.